Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on Greenhills Estate. So as you know, the last episode that I was meant to put up unfortunately got deleted by my little boy, which it was, to be fair to him, it was an accident on his behalf. He didn't mean to do it, but he sort of deleted it out of the file and then deleted it out of the trash can, so I had not much chance of getting that back, or at least as how I understand computers and everything. But anyway, so this is a video just to sort of show progress. We are now the following year. This is not my tractor nor my plough. I've decided out of the money that we got for all of the bales that we sold at the end of, I think it was March time that we sold the bales, and with the proceeds to the bales, what I've decided to do is I'm going to need a bit of equipment, and I'm going to need a little bit of other equipment to help turn this gradually over to an arable / dairy farm. And so that's what I'm doing with the money. I'm reinvesting the money into equipment, but this I've hired. I've hired this just because I've got to get all the land ploughed and ready for planting ASAP, really. The tractors that I've got will be the tractors that I do use from after I get all the ploughing done, from then on. So this plough, as I say, isn't mine. This tractor isn't mine. I've just borrowed it. I'm not ploughing with GPS. As you can see, I'm sort of ploughing freehand. So it's not too bad straight. I do pride myself on my plough, and even in a computer game I do pride myself. It was probably my main job on the farm. It's the job that I spent many months of the year doing, usually after veg crops. So following sort of the collie and cabbage and whatever else pickers, and ploughing the land back and then getting ready for usually a second cropping of leafy green veg before wheat in the winter. So yeah, I'm just getting over. I was further than this in the original recording. I'd virtually got to, I think, autumn when I'd started to have some different jobs for you guys to see. But I haven't got as far because I didn't actually plough, so I've actually changed my plan from the original plan. The original plan was that I was going to spend the whole of this year doing silage, 3-cut silage, and selling the bales and just saving the money. But I started to look at the price of bales, well, silage in particular, and then look at the price of some crops, and just thought, do you know what, actually it makes much more sense to turn all this grassland over to fields, and then from there take plant crops in them and take the crops off the field. So that's what we're doing. I've already ploughed the little one up near the shop. That was sort of a simple job in terms of it. I ploughed that quite quickly, but this field is a little bit bigger, and it is taking a little bit longer. I was originally not going to show any of the ploughing either, but I thought, well, I don't know, for this particular save it's a different job, and maybe people would be interested in seeing me plough. So I wish I'd sort of now not decided, sort of perhaps not quite halfway through the field, but I decided when I was on the beginning, because that is not a straight edge. So it would have been nice to sort of kind of shown you how I personally make a straight edge in terms of ready for ploughing and ready for, you know, keeping it as sort of square and as straight as I can. But it will crop up again. I've no doubt about that, because at some point we're going to have to, at the very least, plough this field again. So that it will be a thing that does crop up again. But if in one of the other fields it crops up, then what I'll do is I will either do a really small video on how to sort of open up a funny shaped field with the plough and to plough it straight, or I will do another video on it if we're getting ready to start drilling as well. As you can see, I've hired the Cavervelum with the press, or the Packer mat I think they called it on the game, but for me it's a press. On the real farm I had a 14 thorough version of this plough and press, which we used in the autumn after potatoes. We would generally just lightly plough the ground, and then at the same time I would press it while I was ploughing it, and then they would just go straight behind me and drill it. The land, as long as it was dry, was light enough for us to be able to do that. And it just, you know, this press on these Cavervelum ploughs, actually they do leave a really nice level seed bed, so you're more than able to do it that way. So that was the way that we used to do it. But I'm using it just because once I've ploughed it, as long as I don't grow, I think, corn and root vegetables, I don't need to plough again for 3 years. Well, obviously in 3 years on the game I'm hoping to be a lot further forward, and so therefore I'm using the I don't know what I've done here. Press some. Oh, there we go. I was going to say my tractor suddenly decided to do something quite weird then, and I was like, what have I pressed? But I know what I pressed. Yeah, so as I say, we'll hopefully then have tractors and ploughs that are capable of doing such jobs. I am in the market for a new tractor and obviously a combine. I want a bigger tractor. The David Brown will stay, just because it has a front loader on it at the moment. So on that basis it will stay, but it's going to be taking much more of a backseat in terms of farm work. It will probably do the bow wrapping until we can get a trowel bow wrapper, and then it might then be moved on. Or it could possibly be one of those little tractors that you have hanging around for shunting around the yard, just moving stuff. So I mean, I might leave it for that purpose, but as it is at the moment, we are looking for a bigger tractor to go with the Ford that we've got. I do have a tractor in mind. I haven't used it. I only downloaded it yesterday. I haven't used it yet, and I haven't tried it to make sure that it's error free, but I have a good feeling that it will be error free, and that we will be able to use it on the save. So that's what we're looking for, really. It's probably, I think it's, because there's no sort of real secrecy about it, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be another Ford, if I'm honest. So probably a TW. Looking for about 170 horsepower. There's as I say, I've downloaded one, and I'm looking forward to just making sure that there's no errors. And we'll do that with all the mods that I download. I don't just chuck them straight into the game. I do make sure that they are error free, and they are of good enough quality to go into the save game, because the one thing you don't want is a log full of errors, because it will start to make your game really slow and laggy and horrible and buggy. and other things will stop working the way that they once did or whatever. So yeah, this, as I say, we're just ploughing this field. We've got the two fields that you sort of two crop fields that you start with on the game. They're full of weeds at the moment, so we're going to plough them as well. Plough all those weeds in, so it will save money on spray. And then we need a drill. We'll need some seeds, and then we're going to need a sprayer, and we're also going to need, if I can find an old set of rolls, then we're going to need a set of rolls. We've got a trailer now. I have bought a trailer. I was lucky that in the winter time a trailer came up on the used market. Well, I think it was like £3,000 or something. So I have bought a trailer. It's not a very big trailer, but we don't have very big tractors, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's just a trailer that's going to get us by. So I have got as I say, a trailer that we can use, and then we'll look at an old combine. I'm thinking the really old Class Dominator. I've seen it in a few save games on YouTube, so I think you'll probably pretty much know the one I'm talking about. Just in case you don't, it's this one. I think it's going to be more than suitable for us, because it's not a combine that I'm going to want forever and a day. I'm going to want to progress quite rapidly. So then I was kind of thinking we might move up to this one a bit later on. I mean, for an extra 20 grand, for an extra 20 grand, I might even just go with that one straight off. But I might not be able to afford it. If I buy the new tractor now, that I'm thinking about buying, that will leave me with 77,000, and that 77,000's got to get me a drill, seeds, a sprayer, and different things, rolls and stuff like that. For anyone that is kind of wondering why I turn into the ploughing and then reverse away while I'm turning the plough over, it doesn't matter so much when you're coming to drill the land, very soon afterwards. But the reason why I do it is because I do quite a lot of match ploughing, and you turn and reverse the plough with it going into what you need to plough rather than over what you've done, so that you don't drop big clods of mud on the ploughing. So it just makes it look neater, it makes it look nicer. And I used to do that in real life as well with mounted ploughs. I'd always turn into the way that I'd ploughed and then back up, and then once I was away from where I'd been ploughing, I would then turn the plough over so that any mud dropped off and went onto the headland and didn't affect the ploughing in any way. Like I say, if you're looking to drill the field within a few days or whatever, then farms and stuff would say don't worry about it, but I did. My granddad was a ploughman, my uncle was a ploughman, and they were multi-award-winning ploughmen, and it mattered a great deal to me to make sure that my ploughing looked nice and proper all the time. So that's why I do it, really, for no real other reason other than it's kind of the way that I've been brought up. My granddad brought me up on an old track Marshall, and ploughing with the 6 dads were reversible, an offset one, so that they could plough on top, and that was on the farm that I originally went to. So the very first farm I worked for, my granddad had worked there. My nan was still working there at that time. My mum had worked on there, so I joined that farm in 2007. I've come away from my furrow there a little bit. I don't think it will matter too much. Yeah, so I joined that farm in 2007, and was kind of instantly put on to ploughing duties. because I started there on August the 13th. It was a Monday, and the idea was that they would have, the August the 13th was the sort of rough date that they were hoping to start the wheat harvest, and I was going in obviously to be tractor and trailer driver, but that summer had been exceptionally hot, and by the time the 13th of August had come round, they'd virtually done combining, they were virtually finished. So although I did get a couple of days of grain carting, I think it was about a week and a half in the end, my first sort of proper job, if you like, on the farm was ploughing, and that was with a John Deere 6010 and a 3 for, or maybe 4 for a Lemkin plough, really old Lemkin plough. So yeah, that was my first real experience of proper ploughing on a farm. Right, we can't really avoid it here, but we'll turn the plough over here. And now we've come into the gorse, so now we're going to be ploughing short all the time. So it's not going to be quite so straightforward, because what I have got to try and do is leave a headland. So I think if we drop the plough about there, let me think, no, that's going to be too far away, so about there, that should do. You've got to remember that the back is ploughing narrower than what the front is, so you don't want to leave too big, don't sort of set your plough up to the back of the plough, set your plough up to the front of the plough, because the front is always ploughing wider than what the back is, and that makes perfect sense in my head, but that maybe doesn't make sense to anyone else. But yeah, so no, I don't know what it is. I've sort of been meaning to sort of say to you guys that kindly watch, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and start leaving some comments, and let's get a bit of a community going here, and ask questions, and feel free to criticize and whatever. I don't improve if people don't criticize, so I'm all happy for that to happen. I'm never going to be brilliant or perfect, but one of the things that I wanted to sort of mention, because I don't know if anyone else has it, but just recently I've been coming over and feeling all funny and sort of lightheaded and woozy and whatever, and I can't quite work. Oh, hang on a minute, I feel the same again. Oh, I hate it when this happens. I feel really funny. Oh, I don't know what's happening. She put him out like the burning end of a midnight cigarette. She broke his heart. He spent his whole life trying to forget. We watched him drink his pain away, a little at a time. But he never could get drunk enough to get her off his mind, until the night he put that bottle to his head and pulled the trigger, and finally drank away her memory. Life is short, but this time it was bigger than the strength he had to get up off his knees. We found him with his face down in the pillow, with a note that said, "I love her till I die." We buried him beneath the willow, while the angels sang a whiskey lullaby. La 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 la. 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 The rumors flew, but nobody knew how much she blamed herself for years and years. She tried to hide the whiskey on her breath. She finally drank her pain away, a little at a time. But she never could get drunk enough to get him off her mind until the night she put that bottle to her head and pulled the trigger and finally drank away his memory. Life is short, but this time it was bigger than the strength she had to get up off her knees. We found her with her face down in the pillow, clinging to his picture for dear life. We laid her next to him beneath the willow, while the angels sang a whiskey lullaby. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. I don't know what it is, this thing just keeps coming over me and I can't help it. Oh, I feel like it's passing again now. It's just really weird. It's just, I feel like I zone out and just disappear from my own body and sort of something else takes over, and then after 3 or 4 minutes it sort of comes and gives me my body back and my mind. I don't know what it is. It's been happening now for a while. Anyway, as you can see, we're still ploughing, and whatever it was that took over is still helping me to plough straight, so I'm sort of really grateful for that. But yeah, as I say, this keeps happening, and I'm thinking about going to the doctors. I don't know what you guys think about it, but you know, whether I should go to the doctors, or you know, whether it's perfectly normal or natural, or whether, you know, any of you guys out there have experienced it, I don't know, but it's just really weird. It just makes me feel really funny. Anyway, if anything happens while I sort of zone out, and you realise and can tell me what happens, that would be fantastic, because I don't know what happens. It's like an out of body experience. I sometimes find as well that when that happens, I end up taking on the voice and personality of certain people. It's really weird, and like I say, I don't know why it happens. I don't know what happens. I don't know anything about it. But it's been happening now for a while, and as I say, I've really been thinking about going to the doctors about it. Anyway, in the comments you'll have to let me know what you think. But meanwhile, we need to get back to some ploughing and talking about the farm. Another big development is I've sold that big shed over there. As you can see, the big hangar shed where you would probably normally store bales has gone. So I've got rid of that, ready for farm expansion. We're already sort of starting to think about that. I think the farm is going to, if I just again turn the camera, so those 2 arable fields there, definitely the first one, but I think the second one too is flat. And there is a hedge in the middle, but we can take that out, that's no problem. I'm thinking about expanding the farm that way as opposed to that way, because that field's much bigger, whereas those fields are obviously quite a bit smaller. And also as well, the field at the back of that, the grass field at the back, for a little way of it, it's also quite flat as well, so we can sort of go backwards, if you like, going up the screen and then to the left of the screen as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the bit that we've got now is for the machinery and stuff like that, possibly some silos and things like that, and then the others, the going upwards and the other side, at the left hand side, is going to be for like animals. There's no factories or anything on this particular map either, so I'm sort of kind of guessing that you guys would like to see us do factories and productions and stuff like that. So I'll probably have on-site factories. Again, this is quite a few years down the line, because we're not producing nowhere near enough stuff to warrant such things on the farm, but I'll just lift that up a little bit. So yeah, but anyway, this has been a relatively short video with the weirdness that I really hope doesn't happen happening in between. So with that, I think I'm probably going to go and have another lie down. Thank you ever so much for watching. As I said before, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and leave your comments, and I'll see you in the next episode, which should be a Homeworld Farm episode. Thank you very much. Bye bye.